So there's this theory floating around about Jiren, and I just couldn't resist giving my thoughts about it. And it has to do with the origins of the character and why he is so powerful. In fact, why he isn't a god of destruction in his universe. Now, immediately you're asking Double Four, what do you mean? Of course he doesn't have to be the god of destruction just because he's more powerful than everybody else in the universe. But the thing is, for instance, even according to the manga, Jiren is more powerful than the god of destruction in that universe. But wait, Double Four, power isn't the marker for becoming a god of destruction, right? It's only one of the markers. But Jiren's about justice. So wouldn't he be a god of destruction? Couldn't he fit those qualifications? I mean, he is a part of the Pride Troopers, right? So this theory that's floating around has been discussed by a couple different YouTubers. In fact, Expert Games is one of the YouTubers that really pushed this theory out. And that's the theory that Jiren comes from one of the universes that was formerly extinct. And I'm not talking about in the Tournament of Power, because right now, Universe 9 and Universe 10, they are no more, right? It's like they never existed. I am talking about when there was 18 universes and Zeno-sama, yes, little old Zeno-sama erased 6 of them just because he got mad, according to Whis, right? And we've actually seen Zeno destroy the alternative universe during the Future Trunks saga, so we know what he's capable of, and we know what kind of devastating effects and powers this character has. Now, my thoughts on this theory, and one of the major pieces of this theory, is that in the end, his major wish when he collects the Super Dragon Balls, obviously being the winner of this Tournament of Power, Universe 11 being the winners, is going to be to revive all of the universes. And when I mean all the universes, I don't only mean the universes that were destroyed participating in the Tournament of Power. I mean the universes that went extinct when Zeno-sama was mad and he wiped 6 of them out. One of these universes being his home. Now, this theory basically states that the reason Jiren survived, it's very vague of course, is that he was powerful enough for some reason to make it to one of the universes that I guess was okay or in the good or in the clear, one of the universes that wasn't destroyed by Zeno in time before the universe got destroyed. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I think this would be an excellent explanation behind his power. Why he's not the god of destruction, why he is so powerful, why he has Ultra Instinct that some of the gods, they can't even tell that it's the Ultra Instinct. Maybe he mastered it to such a high level, or maybe he has some other extraterrestrial, extraordinary, unexplainable power that nobody knows about for some reason because he comes from one of these universes. Maybe that's not known so well, even amongst, other living beings in other universes. I just don't feel like Toei is going to take the time to actually give Jiren a solid backstory like that. I don't think that they're actually going to develop the character in that way, and it would be so awesome because you'd be giving that character so much potential. I mean, he could end up being a fan favorite, but knowing Toei, they're going to take the easy, lazy way of just explaining the character's background, maybe not even going as far as to explain it, right? And then when we talk about Toyotaro's version, the manga version, I mean, yeah, there are some slight differences, but again, Akira Toriyama lays out the points, and they simply, they hit the points, and there's little differences here and there, but it's not that major. I mean, if we don't see anything in the anime in regards to Jiren's backstory, I don't feel as if the manga is going to go through great lengths to explain Jiren's backstory either. Probably maybe drop some subtle comments here and there. Maybe they could shout out Jiren's true home, assuming it's not Universe 11, because for some reason, again, Jiren really does not fit in the Universe 11 mold. He is so much more powerful than Toppo, even though in the manga they are hyping Toppo up more, by the way, as he kicks Goku in the nuts like... guys, I don't know, I'm really enjoying myself some Dragon Ball Super. Maybe, who knows, they could shock us. There could be such huge differences between the anime and manga. Maybe in the manga they actually do touch up on the story, the backstory, Jiren's life, and how he ended up this way, how he ended up so powerful, because For instance, at this point, Goku and Jiren are the most powerful mortals. We know everything about Goku. We don't really know anything about Jiren. It could be that there are so many differences between the anime and the manga when it comes to Jiren's backstory. It could end up being something like the comment that Whis made before the Tournament of Power started, where there lives a mortal even stronger than the gods, right? Whereas in the manga, they're referring to Keitella's universe, Universe 4. In the anime, it seems like they're referring to Vermouth's universe, Universe 11, and that mortal that's stronger than the gods is Jiren. It gets really confusing, to be honest. Now, before I throw my piece into this theory and actually change it up a bit, because I believe there are some things that we can add to this theory, it's important to note that, again, I just don't believe Toei is actually going to go about and really just, like, flesh out Jiren's character in this way. I mean, Expert Games mentioned himself, like, Beerus has been around for 5 years, and we still don't really know where he comes from. And originally, guys, we made speculation that when Champa's character was introduced, like, they were both twins, maybe they both came from one universe, and that's still a possibility, but again, they still did not touch up on that. And in the manga, we find out more and more about how long Beerus and some of the other gods of destructions have been gods of destructions. So if we could expect to get that origin story or backstory from any version, it's going to be the manga version. Don't really rest your case on the anime because, again, Toei be lazy bastards. I have a theory that if Jiren comes from one of these universes that Zeno ended up destroying because he was in a spoiled mood, right? Jiren was able to escape, right, because he was powerful enough. Maybe he even saw the universe slowly disappearing and he just managed to make it into Universe 11, which would be maybe like the closest universe to his universe. Maybe he comes from Universe 13. Like, maybe, like, he comes from a universe very close to Universe 11, and that's why he made it there, and who knows, maybe he even went undercover, and maybe Vermouth and him even cracked the deal, like, listen, you're very powerful, I know you come from another one of these universes, I won't say anything, I will take you under my wing. And maybe that's why he's so confident about Jiren, because he knows he's extremely powerful, having powers that rival his, surpass his, not even being from his universe, but he could be used as a tool for his universe to bring about justice. Now, it really makes you question, why exactly were these universes destroyed? Is it only that Zeno-sama was in a spoiled mood, in a bad mood? Because Zeno-sama does not naturally have malicious intent, right? Usually, like, one thing we're constantly seeing is that the Grand Priest has influence over Zeno, and he makes some plans for him. It's his agenda that could reflect onto Zeno without Zeno realizing, because Zeno, for some reason, appears to be like this childish little omnipotent who could just, you know, destroy things. He has a lot of power, but he honestly does not have a lot of wit, a lot of intelligence. It doesn't seem to have any kind of real agenda behind why Zeno does the things that he does. It seems like the Grand Priest is the one that actually has some kind of agenda, like I just stated. So what if Grand Priest spoiled Zeno's mood on purpose, or insinuated that he should destroy those universes, right? And maybe it's that Zeno didn't want to do it himself, but that's how the news got passed down to everybody else. Or maybe the angels are in on it. That's maybe why Whis stated it that way. I don't think it's going to go that far, right? I doubt it. However, that is a possibility that, again, the Grand Priest is one of the reasons why these universes were destroyed. Now, you got a question, why would the Grand Priest want these universes destroyed? Well, it could indeed be that there were mortals in those universes that were challenging the gods. And one thing that we saw in the past in Dragon Ball Super is gods, specifically, you know, Zamasu, who was very angry at the fact that these mortals were even in a way thinking like gods, like breathing near gods, you know, living with gods. That just angered him because he saw them as like little insects that needed to be crushed. So what if there were mortals in these universes that were on that level? And maybe Jiren is like the last survivor, right? And he managed to escape, but all the other ones were killed off for that reason. Maybe because the Grand Priest, he had the agenda of killing off anybody that would be a threat to this order and to the power. Maybe they challenged the Grand Priest's power. I don't really know, guys. However, there is some very fishy stuff about this entire situation. And of course, we all make videos talking about Grand Priest being evil, but there really isn't enough evidence to support that claim just yet, despite all the smirks that he makes, and just the fact that, again, Zeno-sama is just so oblivious to everything. It doesn't seem like, even if he was in a bad mood, he would destroy a bunch of universes without any reason. Now, this is all still speculation. Nobody knows where Jiren came from. Maybe he did come from Universe 11. It's still very weird, though. For instance, all the gods watching Goku and Jiren fight. Goku's the one with Ultra Instinct. Jiren displayed very similar abilities, but none of the gods actually refer to Jiren as the one using Ultra Instinct himself, or also using that technique, which basically means that Jiren, while having some version of this technique, it's still so foreign to these other gods, probably because, for whatever reason, in his universe, he was able to master a specific version of this technique, maybe something so potent that it's just so foreign, again, to every other character from the other universes, and again, maybe he comes from a race that is so foreign and extraterrestrial, a very powerful race that for some reason was, targeted by the Grand Priest. Maybe the Grand Priest wanted to eliminate that race. Maybe it could even be a Frieza Planet Vegeta situation where Jiren was not in his universe at the time of all those universes' destruction/extinction. If they really wanted to do some solid writing, maybe Jiren's original form wasn't this alien form. He took that body because he needed to. He needed a new identity because his power, again, was targeted for whatever reason, his race's power. I don't know if Toei's writing's going to get that sophisticated, but I sure hope it could. And lastly, if I could add anything to this theory, it's that Jiren meditates, not necessarily to restore his power, but just to clear his mind, which is what meditation is actually used for. It's just that in anime, when we think about meditation, we think about powers, right? Because anime is very centered around powers and kicking booty. But really, meditation's about clearing your spirit, clearing your mind. I meditate. I've talked about it in the past, guys. I feel like meditation could be the answer to a lot of your problems. In a way, meditation saved my life because I meditated every single day for like 3 months, and I was just so at peace with myself. It almost kills your wanting, in the sense that you stop desiring things. And one thing about life is it's like a rabbit chase. But I don't want to get deep with you guys, all right? I'm just talking about Jiren and the possibility that maybe he meditates to clear his mind because, again, that destruction of his home just scarred him. Again, when, Zeno-sama destroys something, it is gone forever. It's not like you could just revive these characters. They are permanently erased, like Expert Game said. Maybe he is traumatized and scarred, and that's why he does it. When he fights too long, too much, he starts going through some, mental breakdown and just starts going crazy. I don't know, guys. I would love for that to be the case. I would love for Toei to actually write a deeper character with a solid backstory, but can we leave it to them to do that? I don't know, guys. So that's where I have to say this would be an awesome explanation behind Jiren's power, why he's not God of Destruction, but I just don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this theory that Expert Games and a couple other YouTubers pushed. I added my piece of the pie into the puzzle, but aside from that, I really don't know what else to say.